So let's talk about DEI. And I'm glad that I just had that conversation with Mom Dukes. Occasionally, I bring her on as a contributor to the platform from the liberal side of things, the liberal black woman side of things. But let's talk about DEI because nobody sent this to me. I just so happened to stumble upon this video and I clicked it because I seen a white man and a black woman sitting there, and I seen inside of the title of the video, living different realities on DEI. So I want to talk about it. Let's talk about it. Let me play this clip and then let's go back to it.
The issue in this country right now is we live in different realities.
That's right.
I live in a reality where I know I do not have the same opportunity as you. I know I don't.
And you know
and
that
I know
too.
what, Scott?
I got it. And you know that.
Let me just tell you about me.
I'm gonna let you finish, but I want to answer this.
I'm not talking about how you feel. I'm talking about how I feel. Me, a black woman in this country.
But not in this city.
And I will run. And if you want
Look,
me
I'm a New Yorker, not in this city. You cannot say that. You can't say that in this city.
I'm not talking about New York. I'm talking about actually.
Let her finish.
Right here. I got a law degree, a master's, and 2 bachelors. Probably more education than all of y'all added up together on this table, right?
Fine by me.
And I have always been.
Look at her homegirl in the back. Did y'all see her homegirl in the back? Listen, this is what I found out about black women. Is that whenever they start running down their education and how many degrees that they got, they homegirl go and this is a normal thing. Their homegirl is always going to be in the back talking about, that's why you laughing because you know it's the truth. That's the new thing? Rita said the new thing is this. Is it this? This?
Yes.
Not this?
It means clock it.
Rita said the new thing is this. The second finger and a thumb, and that means clock it. When women do like this, that means clock it, boo. I just learned something new. When did that come out?
I'm not sure.
Clock it. Ladies, is that true? That is this finger, clock it. Is that a thing? Look at this. Look at her homegirl in the back. Watch this.
City, you cannot say that. You
I
can't
will
say that.
right here. I got a law degree, a master's, and 2 bachelors. Probably more education than
Look
all
at the
of
frame.
y'all added up together on this table,
Fine
right?
by me.
And I have always been.
Can't take these hood rats out the ghetto. Her homegirl in the back like, look at Jerry. Look at Jerry. Jerry said it's true. Shalina said it's true. Spoken word says clock it. Oh, God. Clock that T.
Yep.
I can't wait to after hours tonight. I'm going to absolutely obliterate these women tonight. It's going to be a after hours for the ages. I am going to bring women, black women specifically, to the front of the congregation. Y'all need a reality check. For some reason, nobody has ever told y'all, for example, in this clip, that nobody cares about your diversity, equity, and inclusion degrees. I got 2 bachelors, a master's. Well, guess what? Do y'all want to know the truth? Do you want to know the truth? I can tell you the truth if you want to know the truth. Want me to tell you why she's the lowest on a totem pole, regardless of how many degrees that she says she has? You don't want the truth. You can't handle the truth. You can't handle the truth. For whatever reason, you think that your degrees matter when it comes to your ability to deliver on content. CNN, for example, let me try to break it down from a C student's perspective. CNN, Fox News, Anton Daniels, Don Lemon, MSNBC, Politico, all of these different organizations. At the end of the day, we are in the entertainment industry, not the news industry. Basketball and Gayle King and Oprah and CNN and anything that you put your eyes on, and TikTok and Instagram and Snapchat and YouTube, we're all in the entertainment business. What that means is it doesn't matter how many professors gave you an A. College is not supposed to be to justify what your salary is supposed to be. I don't know if anybody told y'all this, but I'm going to bring it down for y'all. College is not there to justify how much you're supposed to get paid. College is there to give you the foundation. It's two things it's supposed to do. It's supposed to give you a foundation for getting into whatever respective field that you want to be into, and also to show that you can stick with something in order to get basically certified to show that you were able to complete this course, which makes it satisfactory for a base level job going into a particular profession. If you get a degree and you wind up becoming a surgeon and you got shaky hands, you probably shouldn't. You can retain knowledge. You can take the test. It shows that you're competent and understanding exactly what surgeons do. But when you put the scalpel in your hand, you got the shaky hands. You shouldn't be performing surgery. It's a lot of people that can get the stats and they can get the understanding and all of this other type of stuff. But at the end of the day, if you're not a likable person, if people don't like the knowledge or the way that you say it, or if your voice is too squeaky, if your hair is too quickly, or whatever it is, guess what? You're not meant to be on that particular platform. Maybe you should be a statistician. Maybe you should be a dietitian. I don't know what you should be. But at the end of the day, you qualifying yourself by getting a degree does not mean that you are the best person for the job, because we don't even remember what your name is. I got to go back and look at what her name is so I can remember who she is, because she's not memorable outside of anything that she says about diversity, equity. Her name is Ashley Allison. Ashley Allison, that's her name. Ashley Allison. You can clock it, snap it, bring it back, and do whatever you want to do. But if you are not entertaining, if nobody looks at you and say, you know what, we got to find out what she said today because she be kicking knowledge, or she's dope at what she does, or she always have the right takes and all of this type of stuff, no advertisers are going to spend money. You can't diversity, equity, and inclusion your way into entertainment. The WNBA taught us that. They've been losing money for years. How much do we lose money on them just because they say that they woman and they can shoot a basketball and they can make a free throw? You can have all of the diversity, equity, and inclusion degrees that you want. It does not matter. It does not mean that you are the best person for the job. Some engineers are incredible engineers. It does not mean with more degrees that they deserve to be the CEO. It doesn't. There's other intangibles in there that allow for you to be greater and elevate. It's the human element. See, what we like to call it in basketball is called the eye test. You can look at the stats. You can say plus minus when they're on the court. You can say they get a lot of rebounds, but the eye test tells me that you get a lot of rebounds in garbage time. The eye test tells me that when you go against this guy, he just too good for you. You can't check him. Y'all ever been on the court and somebody was checking somebody and they say, hey, ISO, ISO. You know what ISO means? Calling for the ball in ISO. ISO, that mean I got this guy on the island and it don't matter what he do, he getting cooked. We want this matchup, pick and roll, get them on the island by itself so that they can cook. We go into that same play over and over again. No matter how many times you studied the film, calling for ISO is disrespectful because it means that you can't check me and I'm about to cook you. Hey, come on, right here. ISO, ISO. Help, say, help. Doubling. That means that you can't check me. That means you can't check me. Ain't nothing that you can do. It's some people on the internet, you ain't never going to be, it don't matter how much you stream, it don't matter what you do, you can't check me. You never going to be on the same level as me. I can cook you 10 times out of 10, and I'm more entertaining than you all the time. It ain't nothing that you can do. This train is going that way. Train is going that way.
The least paid person on payroll at every institution I have worked in. And it's not
Even
because...
in the White House?
Even in the White House.
Well, whose fault is that? I don't think you worked for George W. or Trump.
Well, guess what happened when I was there? DEI.
Look at her bad attitude.
Look,
I'm head Scott.
Look,
you're my friend. I respect you tremendously. I think you're probably the smartest operative in the Democratic Party, and they should listen to you more. That's number one. Number two, you and I should.
We always got to make them feel good by giving them a compliment. You're not as good as Scott. Scott got you, Ashley. Listen, with all of your education, and nobody goes online and looks at a CNN panel or any panel for that matter and say, who's the most educated up here? That's the person that I'm going to listen to talk. When Scott talks, he's entertaining. He's knowledgeable. He knows exactly what he's saying. He laughs at the right time. He talks at the right time. He schools people at the right time. He has a better narrative for TV and content creation than Ashley. You can go get 7 more degrees. You're never going to be as good as Scott Jennings. It's just the facts. And it ain't because you're a black woman. It's because you're just not as good as Scott Jennings. We're going to pay Scott more because Scott is better on TV. We can give you all the compliments in the world. It doesn't matter. You're not good enough unless you become good enough. Maybe you need to make some adjustments. You want me to give you some suggestions? See, if I start giving suggestions, then y'all going to start getting offended. Oh, Anton, you telling black women they need to change their hair, that they need to lose some weight so that they can look better on TV. Want me to give you some suggestions? I can give you some suggestions. You might not want to hear it because you think it's going to take another degree. I can give you some suggestions. Hey, how many people said, dog, we got to go find out what Ashley Allison is saying? I can give you some suggestions, but y'all don't want to hear it. You don't want to actually improve your TV presence. I got you.
Share a comparable background. We're both from the Midwest. We both come from middle-class families, lower middle-class families maybe. I actually think we share a lot of similarities in our journey. But I think you made it, and you are the most respected voice often at every room or every table you're in, not because
I can give you some suggestions.
anything other than your talent and your work ethic. And that's all anybody ever is asking for, is for people with talent and work ethic to make it. And that's what I see in you. That's how I see you.
But let me tell you something about my story and my family story.
We don't care.
Is that we have faced discrimination. I have faced discrimination. I just said I was the least paid person, even in this moment sometimes, to my counterparts. It is just the reality of the country we live in. And I'm not saying, I do believe I'm qualified. I know I'm qualified. You won't.
No. Self-affirmation does not mean qualification. Ladies, I know y'all like to you've replaced prayer with affirmations. That's the problem. Women have replaced prayer with affirmations. You are now affirming yourself to be better than you really are instead of really taking some accountability for where your lot in life is. And instead of praying to God to give you what you need in order to be successful, you've replaced it with the love languages and affirmations. You can affirm yourself all you want. It doesn't make a difference. Affirmation is not qualification. I know I'm qualified. Says who? Says who? Who told you that? Because the only way for us to really know whether you qualified or not is for you to start your own podcast, start your own platform, get into the mire with the rest of us, stop depending on the network in order to support you and to give you the diversity, equity, and inclusion position, and get into the mire and let's see what your numbers are. Anybody can say anything. No, very few people can do a show and hold over 5,000 people in there on a daily basis. 6,000 people regularly. No help. No assistance, no nothing, just over 5,000 people tuning in every single day. Very few people can do that. Very few on a live stream. I see people every day with over 1 million subscribers, and this ain't no hate, this is just real. I see people every day, they get some of the most elaborate guests, the most esteemed people to come on their platform on a regular basis. And I'm not even saying that I'm doing it big because there's people that's better than me. And you know how I know that they better than me? Because they got bigger numbers than me on a regular basis. Candace Owens will regularly have 100,000 plus people in there, which means if we're looking at it on a totem pole, she's more than 10 times, 20 times better than me. You know how I know that? Because the numbers say that it is. It ain't no question about it. I ain't stupid. I look at her and I say, you know what? Instead of me saying I deserve to be there, let me study her to better understand exactly what she's done in order to get this level of visibility to have consistently this many people here. I see people with over 1 million subscribers on a regular basis can't get 1,000 people tune into a live stream. Can't get 1,000. We don't make excuses as men. We just work. We just work. It ain't because you're a woman, because if that was the case, then Candace Owens wouldn't have the level of visibility that she has. It ain't because you're a black woman, because diversity, equity, and inclusion for some reason don't include Candace Owens. Candace Owens cooks. She's better than you. If Ashley stood in front of Candace Owens, it would be a cook show. No matter how many degrees. Candace Owens don't do nothing but have kids. All Candace Owens do is stay pregnant. No extra schooling, no master's degrees, no none of that stuff. All Candace Owens do is get pregnant. Candace stay pregnant. And if you put Candace against Ashley, it would be a cook fest. And everybody know it. Ashley know it. Candace know it. I know it. It don't matter the fact that they both black women. Candace on a regular basis draw more viewers than white women and white men. If you good, you just good. If you good, you're just good. You just get it. I'm better than some people better than me. It's a hierarchy. We go based off of the stats. It's merit based. You know why some people make the big bucks? Because they draw in the most viewers. That's how it goes.
Tell me I'm not qualified. But the system that I live in doesn't matter about my qualifications.
System.
I don't agree
we're
because
there
I
in
when I
2025.
Oh, come
I don't think we're there in 2025.
You can't demonize
That's
her
just not
saying
true.
that.
That's
Is
just
that
not true.
I don't know.
There's a mountain of evidence that suggests that you are wrong. Okay, let's just
Again,
take
I'm
Ashley.
a New
let's
Yorker,
just-
so I'm jaded. I am
okay.
the Attorney General is a
I'm
black
not-
woman.
okay,
The
we
mayor's
just
a
went- we
black
just
man.
went
The
from-
head of the Senate is a
we
black
just-
woman.
Okay, New York is a small
Okay.
representation.
Well, small.
of the
New
United
York is not
States
that
You're
small.
talking
America.
about politics. Let me just talk. Let me talk about
Every judge I
numbers.
appear before
Because
is either a
Ashley
woman
just
or a
gave-
person of
Ashley
color.
just gave an anecdote, but the numbers also show black women are one of the most educated demographics in this country and one of the least paid. Why would that make?
Y'all really don't get it. You just don't get it. Being educated is just to get your foot in the door. It doesn't mean that you're a great person. It doesn't mean that you're a good employee. It doesn't mean that you're good at what you do. It doesn't mean that you're the best one at it. It doesn't mean that you're going to attract the most viewers. None of it matters. None of it matters. Either you're good or you're not. As a matter of fact, I would say that some of the best people are the ones that's not educated. The thing that's holding them back is that they can't get in a certain. The reason why I went back to school to get my software engineering degree wasn't that I didn't believe that I was the best software engineer. It was because I didn't get the opportunity to showcase my talent. And so I had to go through it and prove to people that, yes, I am the best person for the job. So then that's when I went and got my degree. That's when I went and got my degree so that I can then get in the door and say, watch me work. It's still going to be merit-based. You still got to put in the work. You still got to be good. You still got to be great. You can get as educated as you want. The education is to get you in the door. It's not to show that you're better than nobody else. You got to do the work. You got to show up every day. Grind, hustle, show up. Don't matter what city I'm in. I move my flights around the days that I ain't got to stream. You got to show up and you got to get better. You got to reinvest back into yourself. Stop waiting for somebody to give you an opportunity and show up. If you good, start your own stuff. And we going to see just how good you are. Sink or swim.
Make any sense?
Why would that make any sense? And don't talk to me about the judges you stand before. Talk to
Why?
me about the
Whoa,
theory.
hold on.
Talk to me about the
But
world
it
in which
also-
we live in and
Let's
the
look at
system
the
that
United
we
States
live in.
Supreme Court. How could you say we're not going to look at that from the top to the bottom? And I'm talking about the
okay,
legal
New
system.
York is a more
that I live in.
progressive And we
All
just
right,
got a black woman.
Hold up. Let me.
We just got a black woman on
Okay, but you had a black man from
you brought
the
up
70s.
You brought up the Supreme
Or
Court.
the 60s.
One.
Did you know, Arthur, that there are
Hold on. What percentage of it does it represent the United States of America?
Why
So
is
why
it
does it matter?
Why
So we
is it
gotta
so
go by
Look, now they getting triggered.